Hello, this is RICKY, the mainstream movie guy. And who was right about Zoom? Who was right about Zoom? And who he was? 3 weeks ago, I predicted it. And spoiler alert, because I am going to go over it. 3 weeks ago, we saw who was going to be Zoom, and I said it was going to be Hunter Zolomon, person we saw. And guess what? It was. So this week, we finally saw who Zoom is. We saw in the reveal, we saw this in the preview a couple weeks back, and now we saw it is Hunter Zolomon, aka Jay Garrick, of some shape or form. So I do believe this is Hunter Zolomon. I do believe that is going to be his name. Why? Because the writers have never used a name that person didn't become. Caitlin Snow, in some way, became Frost. All these different people every time. Eobard Thawne was, the Reverse Flash wasn't Harrison Wells, it was Eobard Thawne. Every time they've used the name, they have used it like, no, this is that person. And that's what we've seen here. So the really interesting thing is, who is this and how this all came to be? Because now we have a couple of different contradictions. We do have a person that was named Jay Garrick that was a good Flash. There was this person. This person did exist. But the writers have made it very confusing because the writers in an interview in Vanity Fair said that Jay was deceiving, Barry and Snow, similar to the way that Wells was deceiving from last year. But I think this is going to be a difference because I don't believe it's that Jay who was there the entire time. Maybe he was at points, I'm not sure. But it's really kind of interesting. Despite that, though, there is obviously, he's pointing to another guy named Hunter Zolomon, who there's two J's no matter what, at least. And now we'll get into the different fan theories and what the possibility of this triangle or just two different Zooms are or two different Flashes are. So, on one side, we do have, of course, Jay Garrick. This person did exist, okay, because he did die. He was a body that got dropped on the ground at the end of the last episode. But also, even though a lot of fans were coming up with theories that, oh, well, all these stories were just stories, he made it all up, he never lost his speed, all this stuff is false and everything like that. I think that's a little far-fetched, especially since, Wells from Earth 2 can say that, yes, this speedster did exist, he did fight evil, he did do all this kind of stuff, and he did exist on Earth 2. So that makes it so at least he was a speedster named Jay Garrick who did do heroic things on Earth 2. Now Zoom. Zoom is someone else, but he obviously is AJ Garrick. And is he from Earth 1 or Earth 2 is one of the first questions you have to ask because there could be two different theories. So if you remember a few weeks ago, I did say that I believe Zoom was the Jay Garrick of Earth 1, Hunter Zolomon. And with this, he was taken by Wells, who wanted to recreate the Flash's speed and recreate a metahuman and see how to get it down to a science. With this, I can confirm that also that Wells said he did create Zoom. He created all the metahumans, and he said he created Zoom, and Zoom was once human. We also find out that Jay and Garrett and him also were at odds because Jay said, "I'm not going to be one of your experiments, not again." So, meaning that he was in some kind of experiment with them. Now, why is this? Because we know that Jay took a serum to try to be faster. He said the reason he lost his speed was because of a velocity drug that he used because he wanted to become faster, which obviously is where Velocity 6 can play into, or Velocity 5, I think was the one, because Velocity 6 is the one that Wells perfected on Earth 1, that he saw, that he tried to give to Barry, but then when he ended up getting shot, we saw Jay Garrick take it and then quickly use speed, but then just as quickly, lose it. So this velocity has some part to play in taking Jay's speed away. Or could it have done something different? One definite theory is that it could have basically siphoned the speed away from him and given that speed to a manifestation, in a sense, of a copy of him that was pure evil and that just wanted to become faster. Zoom's entire purpose of being is to become faster. That's all he obsesses about. That's all he wants, is for him to be the fastest man alive, for him to be faster, and no other speedster should be as fast as him, and he wants to be all the speed. And that was the obsession that Jay Garrick alludes to, and why he now no longer has powers, because he was desiring that, and his powers went away. Now, where this obviously has a hitch is, who is the man in the Iron Mask? This is a really interesting thing. No, it's not Leonardo DiCaprio. It's someone else. But who is it? A lot of people think that there's possibly 3 Earth Jay Garricks in this series now. And that we're getting, Zoom is possibly a Jay Garrick from Earth 3. And the man in the Iron Mask is the Hunter Zolomon character we saw on the bench before Zoom took him. Which can make sense, because the Man in the Iron Mask did not come till after that episode where Jay Garrick pointed out who Hunter Zolomon was. This could make sense, but I, again, still feel that Hunter Zolomon is going to be Zoom. That person's name is going to be Zoom. Now, you can argue then, what if Earth 3 Jay Garrick is also named Hunter Zolomon? That's a possibility, and that could be definitely possible. But I think if this is a Jay Garrick, I just don't see it. Maybe Zoom went to another Earth to experiment on him, or to get Speed Force from him, even though maybe he doesn't have it, or something along those lines. But yeah, I don't know. I really don't know who this person is. Now that we know who Zoom is, we still don't know who this person is. I'm not going to take that shot of the dark in it right now, because yes, it could. The easy answer is another Jay Garrick. I would like it to be someone else, but I can understand if that's what the plot's going to end up being. It's a curiosity, but I cannot answer it yet. I do believe that Hunter Zolomon from Earth 1 is still Zoom. I do believe that he is the one who we're seeing, that this one, Zoom knew to be here. He knew Jay Garrick was going to come and do this thing. And how could he get there fast? Obviously, he's faster than Jay Garrick, so he can get there fast without Jay knowing. Now, it's going to be interesting. The more interesting thing I would say is that, what if Hunter Zolomon is still there now that the breach has been closed? Then that obviously means he can't be Zoom, and it brings some merit to the twin theory. Some people think that the Jay Garricks were basically twins, and you had 2 of them on Earth 2 and 2 of them on Earth 1, meaning that the Zoom character was actually a twin of Jay Garrick, and the man in the Iron Mask is a twin of Hunter Zolomon, and he's the one in there, and then Hunter Zolomon's still on Earth 1. There's all kinds of theories on here, of course, and we just don't know who this person is. The writers, again, have said some really interesting things of is Jay Garrick manipulated everyone? I still think there was a good Jay Garrick. Maybe, scared. Maybe his obsession of getting faster did lead him to split off somehow and become Zoom. And maybe Wells played a part in that to create Zoom. I do believe that Wells played a big part in creating Zoom, more than this series is letting on. What do you guys think? What is your prevalent theory? For me, I, in the end, do believe that Earth 1, Hunter Zolomon, is Zoom. That is my ultimate theory, that I do believe he is Zoom. In the end, I do believe that will remain true. If it does or not, we'll have to wait and see. And the man in the Iron Mask, who is he? I'm not sure. Maybe, if Jay was deteriorating because of the Velocity 6, and maybe if that Speed Force or something like that went to Zoom, maybe if Zoom is deteriorating, maybe he did go to another Earth to get another Jay to basically keep his cells, to give him his cells so that he doesn't deteriorate. A lot of possibilities here. Can't wait to find out which one it is. Although, again, we have an answer of who Zoom is, we have more questions than that answer had us from before. So it's really interesting to see what's going to come out. I love to know your theories. Again, my theory is that Hunter Zolomon from Earth 1 is Zoom. I believe that Wells played a part in it, whether he created him by trying to recreate the explosion or use the Velocity 6 to say he was giving Jay more speed, but it actually was siphoning it to give it to Zoom and then create this speedster that would become Zoom. I'm not sure, but I do believe that it is Hunter Zolomon. Let me know your theory in the comment section down below. I can't wait to see the week's episodes. We have a girl speedster coming. What else is going to happen, though, in this show? I can't wait. Let's discuss down below. Thank you for watching. This has been RICKY, the Mainstream Movie Guy.